successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Got some real estate inside the 30. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. A big hit. Knocked down sideways at the 13-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I like the call. Inside the red zone running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys at the corner.
And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gault. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Here we go.
Now Watson. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here we go on 4th. Watson flushed out right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well. So now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it. Putting.
There he goes left side. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 84 yards. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Tyreek Hill on the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Watson, and under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Jared Davis in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Lions will take over. As they run the counter play. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. They'll toss it to Fournette, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take this one down to the 20-yard line. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
He finds Beckham complete. But he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kenny Clark in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Yeah, thank you. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He had the touchdown last drive, now up over 1,300 yards on the season, and still plenty of time in this game for him to keep those numbers climbing.
And I like the fact that it's a number that you're not worried about protecting. Because if you're trying to get around, if you're trying to get over 1,000 yards, you get a little nervous, right? At this point of the season, you have a few losses. Now you're back below 1,000. Here, you're just trying to climb a big-time total even higher.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. There he goes inside the 30. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
To throw is Watson. Flush to his touchdown, Minnesota.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. On first down at Stanford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. To throw on second down is Stafford. And the grab by Croft. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On first and 10, Stafford finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings. Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Ooh, with a juke. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
3rd and 2, Watson. Thomas has got it, complete. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Watson. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And it's second down.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. And again this time to the tailback. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long third down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. A pretty good mark there. They needed 14. They got 14 on third down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz?
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. Elsewhere, second half is underway up in Orchard Park. And it's the Bills who are leading in that one. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
To throw on second is Watson. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Carl Davis coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Over the middle to Beckham. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be first down Vikings. The pitch to Fournette. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. Back to throw, Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. In a tie game fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
Here's the dangerous Tyreek Hill. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs, so a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Here's Watson now on second down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Darius Slay with a pick. Well, that's three. Picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he's got his man on the out route. A gain of 6 there on first.
Another nice pickup. Through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Come on, let's go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Ten yards still left on 2nd down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Eluding the pressure right. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Steps away to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the...